fellow watch comrades. This is Greg Hester, the watch comrade here at the EAA 2009 Airventure. We've been having a great show here this week. Been selling a lot of Russian watches and turning on a lot of guys to the Russian watch fetish that we all seem to have here. So we're very glad that you are going to join us for this special segment of the Watch Comrade Show. One of the coolest things about this week is we met a couple of pilots who actually fly World War II era Russian planes. This plane behind me is called the Yak-9. Now, I'm not going to make any pretense that I can tell you all about this plane, because you know that what I do is tell you more about watches. I'll let these gentlemen introduce themselves, and what I've been really excited about is they're into Russian planes. This week I've gotten them into Russian watches. So why don't you guys introduce yourself and tell us a little about the planes you fly.
I'm Ken Carlomagno from Petaluma, California. We flew about 2,000 miles here a couple days ago, and I fly the Russian Yak-11, C-11, which is to the left. And my compatriot here is Jim Cook. Jim flies this beautiful airplane, which is a Yak-9.
Now, what would the during World War II, what would have been the U.S. equivalent, so to speak, of the Yak-9 or the 11?
Probably the P-51, but it's a lower altitude fighter. It's a below 2,000 foot fighter. Most of their fighting was point defense over cities, airfields, and other formations, troop formations. So it's a low altitude fighter.
Now, you were telling me yesterday though that this is a more maneuverable plane than the P-51.
It's lighter, and it's got roughly the same horsepower as the P-51 Alpha, the A model, and it is more nimble, more quick.
Because of the lower weight. You got a more maneuverability. Now, we're going to get a shot of your plane in a minute. What's the main difference between the 9 and the 11? I noticed you've got a bigger cockpit. Is that?
Yeah, the 11 was a derivative from the Yak-3 near the end before the Russians transitioned into jets, and it was kind of used as a fighter trainer. And many of them were built in satellite countries. Mine was built in the Czech Republic and was exported to the Egyptian Air Force. And they were used kind of as a fighter trainer. And basically mine was a later built in 52. The 9 here, the Jim's, were traditionally, they were built around 43 to 45 era. So this is more Korean vintage warrior airplane that is powered by a radial engine versus Jim's, which is World War II, powered by an inline Alison engine. Now, originally they were powered by a Klimov, M105 or 106, I believe.
Now, what is Yak short for anything?
Yak-11. Yak-11 design build.
Is that like a family name, or is that?
It's a family name.
Family name? Okay. Now, how much of these planes are original, and how much is stuff you've had to redo or restore?
Well, my 11, for example, the airframe and the wings, everything outside of the wheels and the engine, far well forward from the engine mount, is original. It's absolutely original. So it was used. I think the logbooks. We have the original logbooks. It had 5,650 hours on the airframe, and what it was when they were exported out of Egypt after they were retired about 1982 to 1984. It was a Frenchman, Jean-Baptiste Solis, bought about 30 of these. They were on a stockpile, and he sold them to different people in the free world country around 1984 to about 1990. And this one ended up in Chino, ended up being rebuilt by fighter rebuilders. Steve Henton was a very famous both race and airship pilot. And the Sanders brothers actually helped to put it together too. They fly Seafarers, and they have Dennis and Brian Sanders.
How common are these in the U.S. among pilots like you?
I'd say the threes and the nines is probably no more than 10 so far.
Really? Only like 10. So, guys, you're seeing 2 of only about 10 planes like this that are in the United States. And actually, we got the pleasure yesterday. These guys were cool enough to let us climb up into the cockpit. So, you guys get to continue to be jealous of how many cool Russian planes I get to go into because I am the watch comrade. All right, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.